A man convicted in one of Kansas City's most notorious crimes, the deaths of 6 firefighters, called KCTV5 from behind bars in a plea to clear his name.
This is a free call from
Brian Shepard,
an inmate at CCA Leavenworth Detention Center.
Brian Shepard spoke to our investigative reporter Angie Racono from Leavenworth Prison. He's serving a life sentence for his role in the 1988 tragedy. Tonight's investigation into the old case is getting a lot of new attention.
You may remember the name Brian Shepard. He's been trying to tell his story for years, but no one will listen. That's changing in a big way. He's the main character in a new Kansas City play called Justice in the Embers. Tonight, the prisoner behind the script, Brian Shepard, in his own words.
It's kind of hard to sit there and watch some of the things that I've seen. I wouldn't wish this place on anybody.
Brian Shepard swears he's innocent. He's got supporters, a new lawyer, and now a play.
Something is wrong with this case if we have all this support. People need to look into it and investigate for themselves.
In 1988, a Kansas City construction site was set on fire. When firefighters rushed to put out the flames, a trailer exploded. The blast was so powerful, it left a crater 40 feet wide and 6 feet deep. It broke a community's heart. 6 Kansas City firefighters died. This is their memorial.
When you've got family members calling down there wanting justice for their fallen firefighter family members, that's the pressure, So they just went with what they could do to close this case.
Brian Shepard was 17 years old. He grew up in a rough neighborhood near the crime scene. He was no angel. He'd been shot by a girlfriend, blinded in an eye in a bottle rocket fight, and arrested for stealing a bike. Here he is at 18, arrested for that fatal explosion. Charges were eventually dropped due to a lack of evidence. For years, the case was cold. It ran on unsolved mysteries.
It was just after Thanksgiving, 1988.
As time wore on, these leads soon wore out.
And there were other theories, including union sabotage. Listen to investigators.
We know that there was labor unrest, and it primarily dealt with union versus non-union companies.
The investigation shifted back to Shepard and people he knew. There was a trial, and the one thing both the prosecution and defense agreed on was the lack of physical evidence.
It was a tough case. A lot of the evidence that you would normally have was destroyed with the explosion.
So the case hinged on witnesses. Some shared in reward money, others cut deals, reduced sentences for their crimes in exchange for testimony. All 5 defendants, including Shepard, were convicted and sentenced to life.
They're using, government informants to convict people, and most of those government informants are liars.
KCTV5 reached out to the fire department, the union, and of course the firefighters' families. They all declined an on-camera interview. But privately, they say this play and all of the legal speculation is painful. Let these men rest in peace.
It's about unanswered questions, I believe unanswered questions, in what may be the city's most serious crime.
Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter Mike McGraw has been poking around this story for years. His articles inspired this play.
When you look at the government's theory, it's hard to accept. 5 people go up on a hill to steal tools to sell for drug money, and they fail at that, so they set a fire, a diversionary fire, which would have the effect of drawing the security guards to where they are instead of diverting them.
McGraw talked to key witnesses. Some changed their stories. His digging prompted a Department of Justice investigation. The final report didn't clear Shepard or the other prisoners, but it named 2 new potential suspects. Those names are blacked out. And so are most documents, page after page. The case remains closed.
The truth is hard to get at.
I want the truth too. That's all I want every day. I pray to God every day that the truth comes out about this case.
When the play ends, Brian Shepard's story continues. A recent Supreme Court ruling means he'll get a new sentencing hearing, not because of evidence in this case, but because of his age. Remember, he was 17 when this crime occurred. Shepard says he'll never return to Kansas City. There's too many ghosts in this town and too many people lied about him. We'll keep you posted on his case. In Kansas City, Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.
The play opened last night. It runs for about 2.5 weeks. The play's director says it's fair and hopes firefighters will come too.
This is not a biased story. We have everyone's point of view represented here. We have, and it's not sensationalized.
Tickets are $20. The investigation continues online. There you'll find the entire uncut interview with Brian Shepard on KCTV5.com.